All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining this event today. My name is Ram Ananthan. I'm a director in the Success Architecture Group at Salesforce. We have my colleague Jyoti Kiran. He's a success architect in the team. Uh, and Naresh is our organizer. He's an architect at VF Corporation. So today we have a very exciting topic to talk about, and as you can all know, understand, and imagine, we've been doing integration for last 30, 40 years in the very traditional way, using connectors, solving business problems through integrations, whether it's a batch integration or real-time integration, and with a lot of manual intervention sometimes, because you need to make some decisions on the during the process, right? When you're solving a business problem, there may be some manual step needed, something that human has to come and use his intelligence to do that, whether it's in designing the applications or during the execution of the integration itself. So why not automate all that? Why not make the integrations intelligent with all the latest technologies that we have, artificial intelligence, machine learning, natural language processing, all that, right? So that's the idea behind today's topic. So we have a lot of tools available. We have a lot of services that a lot of vendors provide. We can definitely make use of those services and tools to make our integrations, whether it's MuleSoft or otherwise. We can make them very smart and intelligent to solve a lot of these problems automatically, right? Because you don't need it's not a fun task to somebody for somebody to come and manually do something which a system can do. And what we do is we also learn from our experience, right? So we want the machines, we want the integrations to learn from the experience also. Let's say we have an integration. It's going to process some transaction based on um, what it understands from the transaction. It can make some intelligent decisions for the future transactions, so future requests. So that's the idea behind revolutionizing integrations with intelligence. And just have that as a thought while we go through this presentation today. With that, let's get started, and we welcome you all to this event. It's really exciting for us to be part of this discussion also. If you have any questions, please share. If you have any comments, or know if you want to share your experience, whatever, I think we can use the chat, and we'll be monitoring that, and we'll do our best to answer. Or if not, we'll get back to you. We'll collect your email address, and we'll get back to you eventually. So let's get started. So for the agenda, I think we can skip this slide. We're going to introduction, and then these are the topics, right? We're going to first start with why we need smarter integrations. What is the need? Like, what can it do for us? What is the problem we are trying to solve, right? And then, okay, now we know why we need. Let's talk about what does it mean for a smarter integration. Like, how is it different? How is it smarter? What components make it smarter? And the benefits. Okay. And how are we going to do that? Now we talked about the need, what are the components, what are the benefits. How can you really make it? What tools are available? What technologies are available to make it no smarter? Then we'll look into some challenges, because nothing comes free, right? It all has no its own challenges that we have to be really mindful of, and we have to really address that. Otherwise, robots and artificial intelligence can overtake us, right? We want to make sure that we still have control over them. We don't want to leave it running in the wild open. So that's the challenges that we will talk about. And especially when we are dealing with customers, customer data, and privacy, security, all this is very important. So we'll talk about some of the challenges, and we will also go through a lot of use cases that okay, where do we really use this? What type of use cases can we solve with smarter integrations? And Jyoti he has come prepared to show you some of the use cases that we can solve using AI tools, like machine learning tool techniques and all. He's going to give you some ideas where you can go back and try to incorporate them in your business problems, right? When you solve your business, when there is a business problem that we solve, when you're starting your new integration practice, or no, in your organization, you can think of these as some of the potential areas where you can make them smarter. And then we'll talk about what MuleSoft and Salesforce do to unlock the power of AI, and what are some of the considerations that you may have, right, when you talk about making MuleSoft integration smarter. What do you need to consider? What are the things that no you need to? What are the questions that you may have? That we'll talk about that. And finally, we'll open it up for a Q&A. We'll pretty much use chat for our Q&A, but if we have enough time, and no, we will use the last few minutes for any Q&A, just no to answer in the chat, or even we can read the questions from the chat and answer back to you guys. So that's the agenda for now. Let's get started. So Jyoti, we'll go into the first slide. No, skip. Yeah. So let's talk about the need for revolutionizing integrations. Right? When I say revolutionizing integrations, we are not changing the way we integrate. We are only making it better, right? So we are talking about something really exciting today. Why we need to shake up how we do the integrations, right? What do you mean by shaking up the integrations? We are talking about shaking up the integrations with the help of AI. um, we are talking about chat gpt, we are talking about NLP, we are the generative AI, a lot of different image recognition, voice recognition. There's so many different tools that like so many different technologies have come up today, right? Everybody talks about AI. Why not integrations get smarter with the help of AI? So that's the topic. Think about how business is changing, right? Everything is getting more complicated and complex, and we need to really quickly adapt on our feet. Whether it's getting real time info, I know we know that it's super important for businesses, and also people want things personalized, right? If you're a customer, when you go to a shop, when you go to an online store, we don't want random things to pop up, right? We want something that we are interested in. We want a personalized experience. So that's the idea, right? How can we make it personalized? How can you customize an experience just for a customer? How you need to be smarter as a business. You need to become smarter to understand what that customer wants, what are his interests, and then present some of the options for him. Then it'll make sense, it'll be more relevant. So AI is a big part of that challenge here. That's that and integrations, as you know, is a bigger piece in any business problem, right? When you try to solve a business problem, you cannot do without integrations. That's why we are mixing AI with integrations. um, uh, Imagine AI, like for example, like a detective for data. There is a lot of data in integrations. It digs deep and finds a lot of information that's very useful, that we would never notice as a human. The machines can understand the trend, the type of data that it receives in the integrations, and then understand the pattern, and come to a conclusion. Oh yeah, if this is happening, this is what is going to happen next. So it can know, it can be that smarter. It's like having a secret code to unlock the hidden patterns. So automation is another thing that AI can do, right? The human manual tasks can be boring and error prone. So you can definitely make the use of AI to make your integration smarter by automating a lot of stuff, whether it's in designing the integrations or while solving a business problem. Did you ever want to know what's coming next? AI is not a fortune teller. We all know that. But it's very close to that, right? It can predict a lot of things. It's like a clever friend that we have in our team, who knows what you need and makes those things right for you. Imagine giving everybody a unique experience, and dealing with a lot of data and a lot of people. AI makes it happen. So that's the need for revolutionizing applications or integrations. And today we are talking about integrations, but it can really be applied anywhere else in the organization. In the entire IT ecosystem, you can embed AI to make bits and pieces smarter. It's a game changer. We know that it's no it's going to definitely help us stay ahead in a fast changing world. So when you go back to your organization, when you try to solve your business problems, think of areas where you can automate, where you can make the use of AI to make intelligent decisions on its own. And be careful with that, but no, these are some of the ideas. Next slide. So now let's take a look at now some of the key components, like data insights, right? Think of it as patterns. We are When you look at a real-time integration in real life, we see so many different kinds of requests, different types of patterns in the chaos. AI helps us find valuable trends and hidden gems in the complex the data. So whether it's no order processing information or no customer data that you're trying to process, or product data, or whatever transaction, financial, healthcare, like in healthcare also you can understand the patterns, right? Okay, okay, these are the types of medicines that this person is trying to buy, and this is what the doctor says. Then you can understand, you can make some patterns, you can make some decisions, informed decisions about what can come next. Okay, if the person is taking these kind of medicines, he is no he can expected to take these medicines in the near future. Like, this is what the trend has been. So you can use the AI to understand such patterns and get some data insights. And then automation, we talked about, imagine workflows that adjust themselves. You don't need manual intervention in between, right? You don't need a human to log in somewhere and approve something. Like, if it can be automated, if a human really has to apply himself, then that's fine. But in many cases, we log in to like, just approve, or take some decision that a program can automatically, smarterly, a smarter program can do. Predictive intelligence, it's like foreseeing the needs in the future. We can use AI to suggest actions. It can adapt to changes, and it can also fine tune outcomes, right? It can change the outcome, it can make it better for the customer. Seamless connectivity, another thing is, okay, when you're designing applications, when the things change at both the ends, the source side and the target side, imagine if you can have an integration which can adapt itself to change the connectivity options, right? You don't need somebody go and make those decisions for you. Like, imagine that. That's a I think we don't have anything yet, but these are the possibilities, right? You can make your integration smarter in such a way that when you replace Salesforce with something else, or know something else with Salesforce, it automatically adjusts itself to make those connections. And then user forced experience, we talked about personalized experience for the customers. AI can make it very personal by tailoring the interactions, understanding what the customer says, right? If it's a voice system, it can understand the natural language and make everything, it can talk back to the customer with a very, very personalized experience. And finally, because it's a AI, it's machine learning, it's learning something, right? Every time you interact with the system, it's trying to learn something from it and then get better. It's trying to adjust itself by talking to different systems, by processing various transactions. It understands the patterns, it understands what type of data is coming in, what type of scenarios it's trying to solve, and it learns from all that, and it makes it better. Like, the next time it sees something, it can do much better than the previous time. So it's an adaptive system which can learn automatically. Remember, all these building blocks, right? All these components, they form the backbone of your intelligent integrations. These are the different areas that make up your integration smarter, where no you can make them efficient, you can get a lot of insight, and also you can make it very personal. So that's how we can make an intelligent integration, right? When you're building intelligent integration, these are the different areas. These are not different physical components, but logically, this is these are the areas where you can use AI to make it smarter and intelligent. Okay. Next, now we'll talk about some of the benefits that we can expect, or no we can experience from making our integration smarter. Obviously, efficiency is the key. With intelligence and smarter integrations, we are talking about not just connecting systems, but we are making we are talking about adaptive system by streamlining the process through automation. Right? Think about how much manual effort can be reduced by making an automatic integration, something that a human can know, like he can focus on other important things. You don't need somebody to jump in and make something manual step. The integration can automatically do that. So by doing all that, we can make it not very efficient. We can improve the efficiency of your application, entire application, your business systems. Moving to a second point, let's talk about real time insights. Imagine where you are being able to extract valuable insights from the data we talked about, by like looking at the complex business data sets. We can The human cannot understand the patterns. Human cannot get a lot of insights directly, but AI programs can definitely. So with our intelligent integrations, we can just do that. We can understand the hidden patterns, understand different things that can go wrong. Predictive analysis is a key portion here. And no we can use that predictive insights to make some decisions automatically, so you can avoid those problems. So a lot of different things can be done, whether it's understanding something can go wrong and taking a corrective action, or okay, user sent a wrong data. What do you do with that? Instead of throwing it out, you can, if you can proactively make some correction and process it, like whatever the applicable scenario is, right? You can do all that with the AI. Next up, we talked about personalized experience. We said no we can use AI to create a higher level of no customer satisfaction by translating to an enriched engagement for the customers, right? It's a win-win for both. If the customer is happy, your business is going to be happy. So we can make smarter choices when dealing with customer interactions. You can like when you log into any retail website, there are a lot of chatbots that are talking to you, right? Instead of like if you notice the how the chatbots interact with you, they know exactly what you want, and they interact with you in a personalized manner. We can make integrations do the same thing for our customers. Advancing further, competitive edge. Obviously, AI is the topic of the day for anybody in the world. So it can give you a competitive edge over your competitors in your business space. If you make your application smarter and intelligent, obviously you have an edge over others. It's all about staying ahead of the curve, right? So, and I'm sure everybody is trying to do that. Whoever gets first will have an advantage over others. And finally, future readiness. We know AI is just the beginning of what's to come next. So we want to make our integrations, our applications smarter and intelligent, and be ready for the future. For like by making it future proof for what business can expect. Business can change, right? Every day the customer experience, customer expectation, technology, all that is changing. Your business has to change also. So we are making, by making all your integrations smarter and intelligent, we're just making it future proof. We are making it ready for the future use cases and future trends, technology trends. In conclusion, like in summary, if you want to see what this can do, what are the benefits. Intelligent or smarter integration is not a luxury anymore. It used to be a luxury thing it's a luxury topic, right? It used to be a luxury topic, but it's going to soon become a necessity. It's a strategic advantage that you can expect, that's going to touch every portion of your organization, from efficiency to getting insights to make a personalized experience to the customer. Overall, I think it's a journey that we all have to go through, as a business, as a business that can lead to a more connected and successful and also adaptive future. Like, things have to change automatically when the requirements change. Okay, let's talk about the role of what tools can make your integrations smarter and intelligent. We talked about the need, we talked about the benefits, we also talked about why it's important, what are the different components, but how do we actually make the integration smarter? What tools do we have? Imagine integrations that can learn and adapt, right? We're talking about machine learning here. So AI or machine learning enables that. So you can use a lot of machine learning algorithms that are already available. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. You're just using plug and play, right? You're just embedding your machine learning algorithm that some other service provider has written. You are just packaging that as part of your integration to make your integration smarter, so that it can learn from the data that it receives, the data patterns, and it can make some it can get some insights, and it can become intelligent and make smarter decisions. And definitely machine learning, which is a subset of AI, takes it to a next level, right? It's about creating models that can learn data from the data and improve over time. We are thinking about same concept for integrations. We want to make sure that our integrations can learn over a period of time and can automatically change and get better at solving the business problem and provide a better experience for the customers. So this is all no art of possibility. I'm not saying that this is what is happening today. You can definitely think of making your integrations do all this with the tools that we have available. This is the next generation of integration that we're talking about. We've been doing the same thing over and over, right? We have been creating APIs, we've been doing batch integrations using connectors, files, all that, like messages, queues. Okay, we've done all that. We want to definitely take it to the next level. How do you make smarter integrations? So that's what we're talking about. Again, think of it as an art of possibility. What's really possible? This is like the sky. There is no limit to what we can achieve with this. This is the future. So definitely try to see what you can use from AI and ML to that can be embedded in your integrations to make it intelligent. We can apply all these to solve the real world challenges. For instance, we can use predictive analytics to forecast the customer behavior based on, let's say, we are talking about a system which interacts with the customer, and there's an integration that's happening behind the scene. Integrations can understand from what customer says or what customer clicks. It can understand a lot of different things from the way customer interacts with the system. It can understand the behavior of the customer and make they enhance the decision making by learning from it. Or we can also implement natural language processing, which is another area which is getting very very popular. It's been there for very like no many number of years, but it's gaining popularity, right? The way we interact with the systems, the way we interact with the humans, by understanding their language, we can make our integrations smarter, by understanding what the customer says and respond back to him in the language. When I say language, it's not the physical language. Like, I'm talking about emotions. We can respond back to the customer in the same emotions, right? I'll give you an example. I had an experience with no one of the car dealers, car service guys. I gave my car for service. 2 weeks, they kept the car without actually fixing the problem. And after 2 weeks, I call them and they say, "Yeah, sorry, we did not get back to you. We didn't give you any updates over the status." And then finally, he said, "No, is everything good? Are you satisfied?" Say, what do you mean by you did not solve my problem, right? So the context is, no, I'm unhappy as a customer, and he's saying that, no, is everything good? So there is a mismatch between what I'm going through and what the business is saying. So we can avoid by understanding the customer emotion. The integration can help the system respond back to the customer in a much more meaningful, relevant way. And then fraud detection is another area that's very very important for the financial sector or healthcare or anybody, right? Fraud detection is very very important. I mean, even in retail industry. So you can make it sharper. It's already sharp. Like, no, we have a lot of systems that can do a fraud detection, but we can make use of AI and machine learning ability to make our systems even more sharper, to spot the unusual patterns, um, like security breaches and data anomalies, pattern anomalies that might escape the human attention. Basically, as a human, we may miss those things, but our integrations can definitely use all these techniques to catch those edge cases. In a sense, AI and machine learning definitely empower integrations in a more proactive, adaptable, and intelligent problem solvers, right? It'll help our integrations become much more seamless problem solver. I think these are the tools that we have. Generative AI is another thing. Chat GPT, definitely make use of Chat GPT to solve your business problems, right? It's like a glorified Google these days. So we have a lot of tools available to make use and make our life easier when you are trying to solve a problem through integrations. Next. Okay, all these no are fine. We can solve our business problems. We can make it smarter, intelligent. We can avoid human intervention. We can make it we can automate a lot of stuff. But nothing comes free. Like there's a cost associated with it, right? Let's look at some of the challenges. I want to start with the data quality, because we are talking about machine learning. We are talking about understanding the patterns, getting data insights, right? If the data itself that we are dealing with is not clean, for example, if the data is incorrect, the machine learning or AI is going to be biased. If the data is completely biased, your decision that the system is going to make is going to be biased also. Because as a human, we will probably know we can come to a conclusion that this data set is incorrect, like, no, it doesn't make sense. The machines may not be able to understand that. So we have to be really careful with the data. We have to ensure the data is accurate and it's comprehensive. It's not one sided, it's not biased, and it's very consistent, right? By repeating a scenario, you should expect the same kind of data. If it's a completely if there are a lot of outliers in the data, then your system cannot perform. Model training and validation, that's another thing that you have to consider. It's not a challenge, but this is how the machine learning works. You have to really train your models well, with sufficient data before you can put it into production, right? Before it can actually try to solve a real-time transaction. You need to train the model with enough data, enough scenarios, so that it understands all the possibilities, and then expose it to the real data. And the complexity, definitely when you're integrating AI with your integration tool sets, and it's not going to be smooth. So we want to ensure there is no hiccup when you're embedding AI or ML, generative AI, all these tools into your existing systems. Interpretability and transparency. Okay, you don't want machines to make decisions without your knowledge, right? You want to make sure that you understand what the machines can do and what they cannot do. So if they overtake you, for example, and no, you don't have complete, you have no control, then you don't know what actions it's going to take, whether it's right or wrong. We do not know. We have to definitely have some kind of control over what the AI can do. What you're just no you're still the boss, right? You don't want to leave everything to all the control to AI. Resource management, because we are talking about AI and ML, those machine learning models will require a lot of horsepower to understand the data, to understand the patterns, to learn from it. So it's going to be costly. So you need to make sure that you have enough resources in terms of CPU power, memory, all that, when you're when you make your integration smarter. And the most important thing in my opinion is the ethical considerations. Let's say no, we are developing an integration system which can automatically and no smarter smartly understand the customer data and interact with the customer. Make sure you consider ethics, because we don't want to expose customer data. We have to respect the customer emotions, we have to respect the customer privacy and all that. We don't want the system to learn from one customer behavior, one customer privacy information, and then use it against no a different customer. Like there's a lot of security challenges that we are talking about here. Ethical consideration and security is privacy, all that is very very important. You need to consider all that when you're dealing with AI and ML in integrations. And scalability, definitely, with the use of the growing use of AI, make sure that your integrations can scale, right? Your integrations cannot say if your integration systems cannot scale because AI is very costly and like no, in terms of resources, then there is a complete mismatch. Like no, your system cannot perform. So you want to make sure that your your integrations as a whole, which has AI and ML embedded in it, can scale to the needs of users. And because customer is going to expect more and more, right? Once you show them something that's smarter and intelligent, he wants he will expect the next thing. So make sure that your systems can scale and are future proof, so that you give that seamless. It's not like no one big jump and then no tomorrow if customer expects more, we have no way to go. So we want to make sure we are able to scale. These are some of the challenges that we should definitely consider. These are just no a subset of challenges. I'm sure you will face a lot more when you actually implement this. So something to think about. Next, what we'll do is no, we'll quickly go to the next slide. So we'll quickly play a short video, 2 minutes video on how Salesforce and MuleSoft, just a simple scenario to give you a heads up, right? Saying, okay, here is an example, and I'm sure similar use case can be in your organization as well. This is how AI can solve your problem, and that's like what Salesforce and MuleSoft they combine together to give you that AI capability. We'll just play a quick video on that, and then we'll get into some of the use cases, practical use cases in integrations that you can now make use of AI and ML to solve. And Jyoti is going to cover some of the scenarios, and it can be from no different verticals: healthcare, financial, manufacturing, etc. But we'll go through some of the use cases. Obviously, there are more, but we'll cover some of them. And so just to give you some ideas, go ahead and play the video, Jyoti. Hey, I'm not hearing audio. I'm not sure if others are able to hear.
Naresh, can you hear the audio?
I can hear you now.
No, no, the video, the audio from the video.
Oh no, I can't hear the slide audio.
Play it again. Jyoti, were you on mute? Not sure. Okay, you know what? Let's give this video link probably in the chat for them to take a look at it. Let's continue with the use cases, Jyoti. It's the audio is not coming.
Okay.
So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Jyoti. He has come prepared to show you some of the use cases that we can potentially solve in MuleSoft. Where the focus is MuleSoft and AI today. So he's going to show you some of the use cases that you can know in your organization. You may have a similar use case. Definitely make use of AI tools that are available to solve those business problems. With that, I'm going to hand it over to Jyoti. Go ahead.
Great. Thank you, Ram. They are very good insights. Thank you so much for sharing in-depth knowledge on AI. And yeah, as you all know, Ram did his master's in AI specialization, so that's how he had a very good depth knowledge on AI. I really appreciate your interest in sharing your knowledge with all of us. on the latest and greatest information on AI. Now, I would like to step in and explain some of the use cases of AI in our day to day life and organizations, right? I know you're all excited to look at how AI will be helpful in our organizations since we are in this AI revolution, right? I'm also as excited as you are to share some of our thoughts on how AI would be helpful in different ways from the MuleSoft lens specifically. So let's get started. So here is the first case, and I named it as a intelligent data mapping because assume a retail company wants to integrate its product catalog with multiple supplier databases, right? Each supplier uses different data formats and product codes, right? The goal is to create a seamless integration that automates the mapping for product information from various suppliers to the company's standardized catalog format. By integrating this product catalog with multiple suppliers' databases, the retail company can gain access to a wide range of product information. And that's the whole purpose of it, right? However, since each supplier uses different data formats and product codes, the integration process can be complex. And that is the challenge that most of us are trying to solve. The retail company must find a way to map the product information from various suppliers to its own standardized catalog format, right? So, one solution is to use the intelligent data mapping. This involves using advanced algorithms and machine learning techniques to automatically map product information from various suppliers to the company's standardized catalog format. While integrating data mapping, the retail company can create a seamless integration that automates the mapping process instead of doing it every time. If they did it once, and that they can feed that data into the AI so that it can observe and learn, and also it can replicate that in the next whenever the new product manufacturing company comes into our existing organization, and it can does the things by itself. By using intelligent data mapping, the retail company can ensure that its product catalog is always up to date with the latest information from its suppliers. This can improve the accuracy of the company's product information and enhance the overall shopping experience for customers. So to put it in our day to day life, right? We have large chains like Costco or IKEA or Walmart. So most of these businesses, they must be doing business with lot of independent their own or multiple vendors. To get fruits, they need to talk with separate vendors. To get some furniture manufacturing company, they have to purchase and get those products into the these our stores, right? So every company talks to multiple vendors. Suppose today Walmart is buying tomatoes from particular company, and the integration is happening. The product is product up, status is coming, and Walmart is displaying the rates and all. But tomorrow, some other companies they would like to go with. So again, to integrate with that company, and that company might be using different services than they must be using different services than the existing vendor, right? So again, to integrate with that, again developer has to put their hands on and develop and integrate and map all that data, right? This is a continuous process, as and developers should always be there to support these kind of changes. And it's overwhelming. Company feels uncomfortable for change, right? So in these cases, an AI can come into picture and solve this in a really smooth manner and automates. This saves time, efforts, and adopts the uh, open space for changes, right? So this is one of the case. And how to implement that? So basically, I've created a small uh, project in MuleSoft Studio, Anypoint Studio, um, just to show a basic skeletons of where AI can fit in, right? Suppose this is a um, flow where we are trying to do the same case we have just spoke, right? Develop a MuleSoft integration flow to fetch the product data from each supplier's API, right? And uh, these are the choice router where inbound inbound request, whoever is sending request to the organization, here this is the supplier name. So suppose the tomato suppliers, are this is one supplier, and this is second supplier. And if the first supplier matches, if and perform this request, like go to that request, get the updates, and then feed that data into the AI model. This AI model can again be um, anything. As Ram spoke, there are many ways that you can take advantage of AI, right? Here you can use a Python script to as a AI here, and you can call that and map to your local organization product data mapping. And so once the mapping is done, then we can uh, produce the mapped product code, right, as per our organization's format. So implement a custom AI component that uses this NLP, natural language processing, to understand product descriptions and match them to the company's catalog. Create a dynamic mapping logic that learns from the historic data and adapts to the new products and supplier changes easily. Since if we have done couple of times and provide the AI, this is how we are mapping to our organization catalog, then it will understand and try to do that whenever new products comes in. So use data view to transform the data, map data fields as per the company's format. And after once you have done all of that, then build a dashboard, right, to monitor and manage the AI powered mapping process, so that you monitor how it goes. So this is one of the use case. And another one is predictive insights. So assume a logistic company aims to optimize its supply chain operations by predicting potential delays and disruptions. The goal is to use real-time data from weather forecast or traffic patterns and vehicle conditions, right? To make proactive decisions that ensure timely deliveries, right? By collecting real-time data from various sources, the logistic company can gain a detailed understanding of the factors that might impact in supply chain operations. For example, weather forecast can provide information on potential storms or other weather events that could disturb the transportation routes. Or even the traffic patterns can provide insights on uh, congestions levels and potential delays. And even a vehicle conditions app, where it's monitoring all of their vehicles, can provide information on the health of the company's fleet. So with real-time data, the logistic company can use predictive analytics to anticipate potential delays and disruptions. For example, if the data indicates that a storm is likely to impact a transportation route, the logistic company can take proactive steps to reroute the shipments or adjust their delivery schedules to minimize the disruptions. By using real-time data and predictive analytics, the logistic company can optimize its supply chain operations and ensure a timely deliveries, right? This can improve customer satisfaction and enhance the overall efficiency of the logistic operations. So if a customer would like to get the schedule of the drivers, right? Then they might be using some app like Workday or something to get the schedule of the drivers. When are they available? How is their health condition? Are there anything that is impacting the job that is they are assigned to? So these kind of insights can also be fed into the AI, so that AI will automatically check for the drivers, available drivers, the delivers it has to make. And then this logistic company can automate the entire system of or at assigning drivers automatically to the deliveries, and what route to take for deliveries. So that's a huge possibility, and it saves lot of efforts. And it increases so many um, doors for faster services and um, better utilization of AI, right? So
And I
again,
want to share, my experience on this one, Jyoti, if you don't mind.
yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
I mean, this is a real incident or real use case that we solved for a insurance company. We have roadside assistance, right? For example, all these insurance companies, they provide roadside assistance, and when you are stuck as a customer and no roadside assistance is coming, we use this predictive insight to track the driver or the truck or the help that's coming on your way, and we can give you, we understand all that, we tell you potential no delays, or we can track the help with this predictive insight. We can say no how much is getting delayed, is it stuck in a traffic, or weather delays, or like whatever it is, right? Let's assume that no, you are stuck on highway 100 miles away from a nearest city. You have to wait till your help is no help has arrived. So you want to know, because you're in a dire situation, you want to be we want to be able to, like, no, as a business, we want to give the customer the accurate information as much as possible by, like, using this predictive insight from AI. That auto industry, that auto company, sorry, that auto insurance company is able to provide more accurate information about the tracking of the driver to the customer, end customer, and that has significantly improved the customer experience, customer satisfaction, and obviously, all that will translate to more business from the customers, right? So I'm sure a lot of you, maybe from the insurance industry also, you may be solving similar problems. You may have, think of these as the areas where you can use it doesn't have to be exact use case, but bits and pieces, if you can identify and make it better, I think that will be a huge step towards making your integrations very, very intelligent.
Yeah, thank you, Ram. And for that, right, again, to implement the um, predictive insight, right, it is a small flow again, just a cruts and skeletons. So create a MuleSoft connector to fetch real-time data from the weather APIs or traffic APIs, or any when vehicle sensors, or any of those, right? And then integrate a machine learning model using a Python based library, or any other AI to predict delivery delays based on the historical data. So every time you make these calls, feed that data to the AI, right? And then it can keep learning on the data, historical data. And when it's when it's time, then it predicts. When it's something, it finds, right? So develop a MuleSoft flow that process real-time data and feed it to the predictive model. Implement logic that triggers rerouting and rescheduling based on the predictions. And while doing this, make sure you build a alert system that notifies the relevant stakeholders about the potential delays too, right? So that's one of the insight use case. And when it comes to the enhanced error handling uh, using AI. So one of the use case that we thought is, a financial institution wants to enhance error handling and reduce the transaction failures between its core banking system and external payment gateways. The goal is to use the AI driven insights to identify patterns leading to errors that can automatically correct um, them to minimize the disruptions. Like by using AI driven insights, the financial institution can analyze transactions data to identify patterns that can lead to errors. For example, the AI system might detect that certain types of transactions are more likely to fail when processed through a particular payment gateway. With this information, the financial institutions can take steps to prevent these errors from occurring, right? Since they know this gateway is failing more times, then they can make some arrangements on that. So one way to enhance error handling is by automatically correcting errors when they occur. For example, if the AI system detects an error during a transaction, it can take immediate actions to correct the problem. This might include rerouting the transactions to a different payment gateway, or even adjusting the transaction parameters to prevent the error from occurring, right? So, by using AI driven insights to identify patterns leading to errors and automatically correcting them, the financial institution can reduce transaction failures and minimize disruptions. This can improve the overall efficiency of the payment processing system and enhance the customer satisfaction. And one of the use case that we see in day to day life is, suppose there is a Zelly transaction which major banks use, like Bank of America, Chase. Suppose if I'm trying to send money to my friend using his phone number, if he is not linked with Zelly, then it might fail. And this can happen even in the past, right? So if AI is in charge there, and it has fed this information, and it also sees how the payment got successful. So AI will see, okay, once the payment was failed with this phone number, how was it successful? Then it knows that he might have tried with the email ID which is associated with the Zelly account. So automatically the AI will predict and say, okay, if this error occurs, I can go reroute and dig in his email address and make the transaction successful, rather rather than just error happening and nothing happening, right? So we all know what kind of bank we will go for. So the bank which is proactive in resolving the errors that happen in the transactions, or the bank does which does nothing even if the payment fails. That's a pain, right? So the banks which use this AI are always go to banks, right? So that's how AI can be used in banking domain too. Again, um, to show that enhance error handling flow, develop MuleSoft integration that handles the financial transactions between the core systems and payment gateways. Integrate a AI component that analyzes the historical error data and identifies the common error patterns, and create the MuleSoft integration error handling flow that incorporates AI insights to detect that error in real time. So, and right now here, if you see, if I got a payload with the account number and the amount that has to be transferred, so first I have a request that debits the amount, right, from the account, and then I have another request that processes the payment. And once the payment is processed, there will be a code associated with it for every transaction. So I'll get the response code as a result after the payment processing. With that response code, I will check. I will have a choice and check if what response code it is. If it is an error response code, then yeah, then I'll do the needed steps, right? The transaction is corrected and reprocessed. And if it is not, it is just a regular successful transaction. So implement conditional logic to automatically trigger corrective actions, such as reattempting transactions or notifying support teams, right? And always remember to build a dashboard to monitor error patterns and effectiveness of AI-driven error handling. And yeah, I see some topic going on in the chat. Ram, is there something you want to talk about it?
Yeah, I will. I'll respond to that. I and Naresh will take care of that. Yeah, we'll see.
Great. Okay. And then one more use case is real-time decision making. So imagine a smart city initiative aims to optimize traffic flow, right, using real-time data from sensors and cameras. The goal is to use AI-driven insights to adjust the traffic lights timing and manage the traffic congestion in the real time. So, by collecting real time data from sensors and cameras, the Smart City initiative can gain a detailed understanding of the traffic patterns and the congestion levels. So, this data can be fed into the AI system, which can analyze and the information and provide insights on how to optimize the traffic flow. One way to optimize the traffic flow is by adjusting the traffic signal timing, right? By using AI driven insights, the Smart City initiative can determine the optimal timing for traffic signals at different intersections. This can help to reduce the congestion and improve the traffic flow. In addition to adjusting traffic signal timing, the Smart City initiative can also use AI driven insights to manage traffic congestion in real time. For example, if the AI system detects a sudden increase in traffic congestion, it can take immediate actions to alleviate the problem, right? This might include rerouting traffic or adjusting signals, timings to improve the traffic flow. By using the real time data from the sensors and cameras, along with the AI driven insights, the Smart City initiative can optimize traffic flow and manage congestion in real time. This can improve the overall efficiency of the transportation system and also enhances the quality of life for the residents in that city. So for busy cities like San Francisco or New York, where the government can adopt this kind of mechanisms, AI driven mechanisms to really optimize the city. I'm sure they have the best ways, but this can reduce the efforts of human interventions, right? And if you want to look at the implementation again for the real time decision flow, develop the MuleSoft connector to fetch real-time data from the sensors and cameras or whatever the incoming data, which is real-time, and integrate a real-time streaming analytics engine that uses the AI to analyze traffic patterns and predict the congestions, right? Especially for 4th of July, there might be fireworks at certain place, or if a football game is happening, right, at particular season, then that stadium or the traffic around that place will be really busy. So these kind of local insights, like they are the city information, they are those insights are particular to that city, and it cannot be applied to all over everywhere, every city, right? So these are some of the serious information that are personal to that city. So if the city is trained, that API, that AI is trained with this information, then it can predict better routing of the traffic and maintenance of the signal systems and whatnot, right? So this can be done, these all can be done. That's just one more idea. So build the MuleSoft flow that process the streaming data and adjust the traffic signal timings based on AI insights, and implement a logic to prioritize emergency vehicle routes and dynamically adapt to the changing traffic conditions if it is a storm or anything. So here I'm capturing the temperature from the real time, right? And also I'm getting that, putting that into a payload, and I have a choice router here, just to check the temperature is greater than 30, then perform a task. Fan turned on. That means, or yeah, it could be anything. You perform the steps based on the insights. And this is the last use case for this session. And here, um, adapting to change. So let's talk about the healthcare organization, right? In today's fast-paced health environment, it's essential for medical professionals to have access to the latest and most accurate patient's information. A healthcare organization wants to integrate patients' data across various systems, adapting to changes such as new patients coming in or any updates to those patients, and discharges are happening, or could be even if we take a step forward, any dosage given to the patient, like what prescriptions are added for the patient who are in that healthcare organization at that moment, right? These are all lot of information that has to be most recent, right? The goal is to ensure the medical professionals have the access to the latest and the most accurate patient information. By Integrating patients' data across various systems, the healthcare organizations can provide medical professionals with a comprehensive view of each patient's health history. This includes information such as medical conditions, medications, allergies, and test results, right? Various. With this information at their fingertips, medical professionals can make informed decisions about patients' care and adapting to changes such as the patient's arrival, updates, and discharges is also crucial. As new patients are admitted, their information must be added to the system. When the updates are made to the patient's record, those changes must be reflected across the systems. And when a patient discharges, this information must be also updated accordingly, right? And by integrating patients' data and adapting to the changes in real time, the healthcare organization can ensure that medical professionals have access to the latest and most accurate patient information. This can improve patients' outcomes and enhance the overall quality of care, right? If a patient has given particular medication and it's not been updated in the system of records that the doctors or nurses of that organization uses, there might be a chance that another representative comes and gives the same dosage. Then it will be there are chances of overdosage. So to know what has done to that patient at that time, as soon as a action is performed, it has to be immediately entered into the system. So every medical representative or agent working there have this access to the system where they all communicate and access to, so they make the real-time updates, and it's accessible across the organization. So in this way, it can reduce a lot of um, disruptions in service and may also save a lot of lives, right? And let's see how we can implement that one in adapting to change flow. Here we are seeing, so develop the MuleSoft integration flow that connects electronic health records system, or any system that has these records of appointments, and patient records, billing systems, or scheduling systems, right? Integrate a machine learning model that learns from the historic patient data changes and anticipate the updates. So AI can be trained even in this way, right? And see, these kind of patients have this age group of patients, this gender of patients, and patients with these conditions came in and they were able to recover in this time. So it by this knowledge, AI can predict, like, if a patient is coming, how soon they can leave and how the beds are available. And if this was available at the COVID times, a lot of patients would have been got cured earlier on. They will have more insights on how much resources are available to treat the patients, right? So they're all the very good use cases of AI in healthcare again. So build a MuleSoft flow that dynamically adjusts the data integrations based on the machine learning model insights, and implement a conditional logic to prioritize the recent updates and maintain the data consistency across systems. So here in this flow again, there is a request to get the patient details, or get the admission status, and get the discharge status. All of them I'm taking into a transform message as these three parameters. And if there is a value in any of these parameter, like a patient details, then uh, or admission prediction or discharge prediction, any of these are values are there, like I have a choice to find out if the patient admission is admit, then I'm setting a payload like admitted, and this will be a response to the system of records that healthcare organization is using, and all the members in that have access to. In this way, you can uh, see the latest and greatest information about the patient. And if the patient is discharged, then it's discharged. If not, any other else default case, no changes in the patient status. So these are some of the use cases. And one of the AI is happening all over. Trust me, if you like it or not, AI is all over. Even in this presentation, the images that you see here, they are AI generative. Yeah, and to make such images, you know how much efforts has to be put. One has to get the training of Photoshop, and then even a professional Photoshop need at least 16 hours to develop such an image. And with the AI, it can be generated in few seconds. So if anybody are interested how to generate these images for free using AI, you can always reach me or Ram. We'll let you know. So AI is all over, all around. So hope you like all these use cases and hope it's helpful. Ram, do you have anything to add? Naresh?
You have one more slide to cover.
Yeah.
Talk about.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah, uh,
yeah.
got it. So you might be thinking, as you've seen all of these use cases and AI talk, right? How do MuleSoft comes into picture here, right? Why has generative AI become such a huge priority for business and so quickly, right? So it's important to take a step back and ask, what is the role of AI in business? Well, there is no one correct answer to this question. We must acknowledge its potential to make employees more efficient and improve the customer efficiency. These are some of the um, outcomes, right? This is particularly important as researchers show, uh, the, the analytics show that 27% of the companies are using the AI tools to improve the productivity and efficiency. And on the other hand, right, the businesses that adopted this AI, they are saying that 90% of them are more like, there is a 90% more likely to report higher levels of productivity. So this 27% of companies, they are saying that there is an increase in 90% of productivity by implementing the AI. So it's really growing, and uh, that is the priority, um, and for businesses for adopting this AI. And how important is data integration in this AI revolution, right? That is the second question here. So we are seeing companies struggle to tap into their best source of trusted data, as Ram already spoke earlier, right? This is because most companies' data is siloed across many different systems like CRMs, customer apps, and or websites. It's hard to communicate all together in between, right? To take full advantage of AI, companies must integrate the systems and harmonize their data. To take full advantage of AI, companies must integrate the systems, right? MuleSoft integration uh, products connects data silos across these various systems, as we are all aware of, and improving the generative AI outputs, and ultimately help drive more relevant and personalized integrations with the customers. And how come MuleSoft help with this AI adoption? The third question. With the dynamic development in AI over the past year, we find ourselves at the forefront of this next transformation to meet customer needs and expectations. And those customers with the strong integration and automation strategies, um, which are in best position to put AI to work inside their organization. And the fourth question, what should companies consider when they start planning an AI data strategy, right? AI uses data to create algorithms that take actions and make predictions. And for both predictive and generative AI, access to relevant and changing data is vital to its effectiveness. MuleSoft enables companies to unify all of the data, then connect the data to AI tools and services to deliver real time and AI driven results. And whether you are training your own LLMs or grounding pre trained models, having the right data at the right time is crucial for your AI process success, application success, right? This changes this challenges still exist today, right? But no but not there are there are no pre-trained models to improve or to help jumpstart this process. So now companies will be able to connect to these LLMs, their own or a third party. They can bring third party, and should provide security and governance around it. And whether you are training your own LLMs or grounding pre-trained models, having the right data at the right time is crucial, right? It's always the main point. Also, the trust is the key when talking about data. Companies must make sure that data they collected and stored is from a secured source, and they have to ask themselves, has the data been reviewed and audited? What's the legitimacy of that data being inputted, right? You will be misleaded then. Have you ensured PII and accessibility of data is compliant? This is compulsory. I mean, it's a good question to check. And all of the governance around the data is extremely important as well. And when you see the questionnaire, can you share an example of how a customer can use MuleSoft and AI? So for this combination, we have seen a lot of all the use cases earlier. Think about a customer applying for a new bank account, typically a multi-step process with a massive paper trail. And imagine, like, instead of manually checking the process, we employ automation and AI to shoulder this work. Imagine, instead of manually checking the processing, we employ automation and AI to shoulder this work. As soon as the application is submitted online, our flow orchestration from MuleSoft automation tool steps in and checks for the completeness, and fast tracks works between people and departments by coordinating um, interrelated processes involving multiple teams into a single streamlined workflow. This can be done. And intelligent document processing then reads and extracts essential information from the documents. MuleSoft RPA is there. This is saving human time and effort. Once the details are extracted from those paper applications into the digital electronic records, they can be consumed in inside integrations in our next gen integrated development environment using anypoint code builder, right? This idea is a this IDE anypoint code builder is a new tool which is out now, generally available. um, Helps programmers develop software code efficiently to increase the developer productivity to by combining the capabilities like software editing, building, testing, and packaging in a easy to use application all in one place. So you don't need to be a coder or instruct the systems to do on what needs to be done, right? um, or you can also just talk to Einstein. The video which we are trying to play earlier, it didn't get the sound out. So you can always see that video. It's very good video that will give you insights, how Einstein is stepping in, and how Einstein AI is solving so many problems. So just talk to Einstein in simple language. Give me a flow that creates a new account using this information and update our internal mainframe systems. And Einstein will provide a template flow, making it easier for you for the users to get started. Plus, business users can also build integrations and leverage custom connector to services like LLMs in our low-code tool, MuleSoft Composer. So this is how MuleSoft and AI can go together, right? And last but one question here: what's the interplay between AI and automation, right? Automation is a integral part of AI successful AI strategy. Our automation products supports AI strategies in two key ways. We provide AI driven automation and integration solutions so customers can automate their process and boost productivity. We also provide API management solution for customers to build AI driven experiences, connecting systems and providing enterprise level security and governance. AI also enhances our automation solution. We are exploring ways to increase productivity and reduce mundane tasks using generative AI to build automation flows using prompts, right? Process owners will be able to simply explain processes to the systems in natural language. This will make automation quicker and more accessible for every user, not only developers. And how does MuleSoft help make AI safer? Now it's a question of security, right? In MuleSoft lens. So trust is our number one value at Salesforce or MuleSoft. We make sure that governance and security is applied to all AI capabilities we build in our products. Our new Einstein trust layer resolves concerns of risk associated with adopting generative AI. We want to build on the trust and extend our current MuleSoft Universal API management offering to enable customers to meet their enterprise data security and compliance demands within and outside of Salesforce, right? For example, the Anypoint Flex Gateway allows you to manage, secure, and control all your APIs, right? And thus data movements, right? Regardless of where it is built and deployed. If you have specific use case for how you want to protect you and control your LLM APIs, you can also build custom policies to manage the gateway, right? The API, Anypoint API governance allows you to check for security um, of each API. The foundational capabilities for safe and trusted APIs exist through Anypoint platform. And now we are looking at AI specific use cases to increase the scope of security and trust, further to include AI and APIs, right? So these are all some of the questions that frequently asked um, about AI in the MuleSoft lens, right? Yeah, mm, that's all.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you, Jyoti. And I'm sure no, this is just the beginning of how we can think about integrations in the future. So we are also learning. Please, no, feel free to share any questions, comments that you have in the chat, and we will try to know get back to you as we learn. And otherwise, try to see know how you can implement these learnings in your integrations in your organizations. And I'm sure no, this is how it's going to be in the future. And with that, I just want we just want to thank everyone for staying late. And I know it's a weekday and no middle of the day in the US. And thanks for taking time to join the event. And it was very productive one from our perspective. I'm sure no, it was helpful for you guys too. And we will continue with similar sessions in the future. Thank you all. Thanks, Jyoti. Wonderful. And Naresh, thank you so much for your help.
Thank you. Nice session.
Yeah,
Thanks, Yuti.
All right, guys. Bye. Bye.
right.
Right.
Thank you.